Thank you for joining us for Weekdays Live with Reverend Al Sharpton. Take the time to share this broadcast right now. Tell your friends it's time to keep it real with Reverend Al. Comment your questions now in the chat or call Reverend Al Sharpton directly on air at 877-532-5797. Now stay tuned for Reverend Al.
This is Reverend Al Sharpton. As you watch the broadcast, support National Action Network. Go to www.nationalactionnetwork.net and be involved. You can join, take your membership right online, www.nationalactionnetwork.net. Getting ready to start the program, but we need you to be part of the movement. Hi, this is Reverend Al Sharpton. We are in critical times. Healthcare premiums are going up, oil and gas going up, all kinds of things that are costing us what we are comfortable to or what we were getting by. That's why I am asking you to be at the National Action Network Convention, where we're going to have leading political figures, leading civil rights leaders, leading activists, leading faith leaders, leading youth activists convene at the National Action Network Convention, April the 8th through the 11th, where we are going to strategize, hear the plenary sessions, question, and come out with how we back up this whole retrenchment of our rights and our ability to live. It's not just about rhetoric, it's about a strategy and get results. That's why we in National Action Network have always been on the front line, and we need you with us more now than ever. To register, all of our sessions are free. All of our sessions are free. To register, go to www.nationalactionnetwork.net or call the toll-free number 1-877-626-4651. Don't worry about how tough they are. Worry about how tough we must become. We never had a victory without a fight. It's time to strategize and fight back.
National Action Network. Power in action. 35 years of justice, impact, and purpose.
Wow. This is the Saturday after I had done 90 days in federal jail for leading a protest in Vieques, Puerto Rico. And I had went down to join Latino activists that were against the Navy bombings that was exercising Navy bombings that was causing asthma and health effects among the children there. And I was on my way to Saturday rally one Saturday, and I said, if they're going down there protesting that, and there were protesters, they would go out in the Navy base.
Good morning. Welcome to another week of National Action Network Live. And in the words of our great late attorney Michael Hardy, when you hear the cry, no justice, no peace, you know you are where the action is. My name is Nancy Darlene Crawford, and I am your host for this morning's broadcast. Today, we will hear reports on what NAN is doing across the country and are joined by various leaders of our community and in the nation, bringing to you how you can get involved and get into the action with NAN now. Our keynote speaker today is none other than our president and founder, the Reverend Dr. Al Sharpton. We welcome all of you who have joined us today live here at Mother AME Zion Church, located at 140 West 137th Street in the village of Harlem. Welcome to those also watching us via live stream and on our media platforms and our website at www.nationalactionnetwork.net. During the Saturday Action Rally, we have a segment here called What's on Your Mind? We invite you to email us at nanwhatsonyourmind@gmail.com or call us at 877-626-4651 and share with us a brief account of what issues are concerning you most that you want the broader community to be aware of. We invite you to call us, email us, what's on your mind today. Here are some announcements to keep you in the know for Saturday, March 21st. Join the NAN Youth Huddle on Monday, March 23rd, starting at 6 p.m. at the House of Justice Temporary Office located at 361 West 125th Street on the 6th floor in the village of Harlem. Get involved and get into the action and join us at Huddle. Today, National Action Network is participating in the Black Family Wellness Expo. It starts at 11 o'clock a.m. and concludes at 3 p.m. and will be held at the Abyssinian Baptist Church, the Dr. Calvin O. Butts III Educational and Cultural Center, located at 150 West 138th Street here in Harlem. Black health is generational wealth. The Black Family Wellness Expo is free and open to all, offering vital health information, screenings, and community resources. What's in store? Nutritious food pantry, life-saving healthcare screenings, powerful panel discussions, calming meditation, and yoga. Delicious free lunch, free baby diaper giveaways, raffles and door prizes, access to community partners and health professionals, and so much more. Again, it's today, March 21st from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Abyssinian Baptist Church, the Dr. Calvin O. Butts III Educational and Cultural Center, located at 150 West 138th Street here in Harlem. All are welcome. Tune in to MS Now's Politics Nation with Al Sharpton every Saturday and Sunday at 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, live on MS Now. It's NAN 2026 convention time! In less than 3 weeks, it all goes down at the Sheraton New York Times Square Hotel. National Action Network presents yet another historic national convention. Prominent elected officials, entertainers, members of the media, educators, activists, clergy, business leaders, students, and international voices will all convene from April 8th through the 11th for NAN 2026. This year, we will also be commemorating our remarkable 35th anniversary. As we prepare for the journey ahead, the convention theme is appropriately titled, Straightening Out Tricks in 2026. At a time when there are too many evil schemes taking away our right to vote, obtain fair housing, employment, and attacking every measure of progress, we must protect our hard-won gains. We must protect marginalized communities, and we must protect our rights and democracy itself. NAN 2026 will unite leaders, organizers, and community voices once again as we collectively renew our spirits and come together in solidarity. From panelist sessions to fireside chats, the convention has something to offer everyone. NAN 2026 is sure to make headlines with a stellar lineup that will be announced soon. As the struggle continues, the movement must grow stronger. The lesson of the last 35 years remains clear. Attendance for NAN's convention is free, but you must register. Thousands have already done so, so please be sure to do so before it's too late. You may visit our website at www.nationalactionnetwork.net. Houston Conversation on Leadership. Reverend Sharpton was in Houston, Texas this week to convene with faith and community leaders for a vital conversation on leadership, civic engagement, and the future of democracy itself. Commissioner Rodney Ellis moderated the discussion, which featured Bishop James Dixon, State Representative Ron Reynolds, and Deputy Ambassador Arthur Asmiwe of Rwanda. It also featured a tribute to the life and legacy of the late Reverend Jesse L. Jackson Sr., connecting the movements of the past to the responsibilities of the present. Reverend Sharpton joined clergy, students, and community leaders from across Houston for the powerful evening of dialogue and inspiration titled A Conversation with Reverend Al Sharpton, Faith, Leadership, and Community in a Time of Uncertainty. This special gathering was held at John and Hazel Biggers Campus, Administrative and Community Center in Houston. Collectively, they confronted the defining challenges facing Black America and communities of conscience, rooted in the historic witness of the Black church and faith institutions, all traditions. The conversation focused on what leaders can do to guide people during these critical times, provide moral clarity, and encourage participation so as to strengthen communities with compassion and purpose. St. Patrick's Day Luncheon. On St. Patrick's Day, Reverend Sharpton was at the historic St. Patrick's Cathedral alongside Archbishop Ronald Hicks, New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani, New York City Comptroller Mark Levine, and others. The St. Patrick's Day Luncheon was a moment for collective reflection, community, and joyful gathering. Archbishop Ronald Hicks marked his first St. Patrick's Day in New York City and delivered a powerful address where he discussed the many contributions of Irish Americans and how we must continue welcoming immigrants and be kind to one another. Mayor Mamdani said he had the pleasure of having a sit-down with the Archbishop the day before and that they discussed how the church has been at the forefront of fighting for the most vulnerable among us. Following the luncheon, Reverend Sharpton returned right back to work, hosting his daily radio show, Keeping It Real. Welcome to all of you who have tuned in and joined us also via live stream at www.nationalactionnetwork.net and also live on Facebook at National Action Network. If this is your first time joining us or if you are not a member of NAN, we welcome you to NAN and invite you to join us and get into the action today. For more information and to join, you may visit our website, call 877-626-4651, or text the word NAN, N-A-N, to 59769. Welcome. Let us now welcome NAN Change Choir. Ensemble. All right. Under the direction of our musical director, Minister Tyrone Richardson.
You know my name. Oh, you know my name. You know my name. You know my name. And oh, how he walks with me. Yes, he does. And oh, how he talks with me. And oh, how he tells me that I am his own. Everybody sing, you know my name. He knows your name. Yes, he does. He knows your name.
You know my name. Let's give them another hand. And to the band. Into the band. Yes. Well, it is Saturday, and we do have a line formed here at Mother AME Zion. And our minister, Christian Matthew, president of our Youth and College Division, would like to know what's on your mind.
Thank you, Nancy, and good morning, National Action Network. This is the day that the Lord has made, and we are to rejoice and be glad in it. If you know that the Lord knows your name, can we give God a great big praise? No, I said give the Lord. I said give the Lord. What's wrong with you? You must be clapping for yourself. I said give the Lord a great big praise. Aren't you glad to be alive this morning? Millions did not make it, but I'm glad I'm one of the ones that did. Give the Lord one more big, great praise. Certainly, we are so excited to be in Mother AME Zion on this great, beautiful morning. It feels good outside today. After all this cold weather, we're glad that we have now entered the season called spring. It's going to be a little rainy, but I'm glad it's not cold. But we are so glad, and we are 3 weeks away from our national convention. Are we excited? Less than 3 weeks, I'm sorry. We are less than 3 weeks away for our national convention, and we are so excited, as you heard playing on the video this morning, the catalyst of people that we have coming this year, as NAN is celebrating 35 years of national impact, community impact, and we're so grateful to our president and founder, Reverend Dr. Al Sharpton, that has led the way all of these 35 years and all of the great leaders of NAN. So let's give Reverend Sharpton a very big hand for the great work that he does throughout this nation. Thank you for tuning in to What's on Your Mind. Maybe there's something that you heard, something that has been in your spirit, on your mind, and you want to give it to the broader community. Step up, tell us your name, where you're from, and briefly, what is on your mind.
Giving honor to God, who is the head of my life, to Reverend Dr. Al Sharpton, to my senior pastor, Dr. Peter Bonady in Brooklyn, New York. Truly, this is the day that the Lord has made, and I will rejoice and be glad in it. I will bless the Lord at all times. Today is a day that the Lord has kept us. Another day, tomorrow is my birthday. So I'm excited because God has spared my life, gave me another chapter in my life, and I'm excited about it. So I will continue to bless him at all times, and his praises shall continually be in my mouth. I just wanted to read an announcement quickly. The Cancer Foundation at my church is having a free mammogram, no-cost mammogram. The phone number to contact is 917-940-2032. Women ages 40 to 75, currently living in New York City, and it's a no-cost service. No co-pays and no deductibles required. The date is April 18th. It's a Saturday. After you leave the rally, you can go there. The meeting here is from 9 to 4:30. That's April the 18th. Then I just wanted to shout out my beautiful, wonderful NAN Women Auxiliary for the beautiful card they gave me for my birthday. And it says this. I have to read it. It says, NAN Woman of Excellence, your volunteering and marching for justice without complaining makes you shine bright. That's why we celebrate your beauty, your strength, advocacy, and wisdom. My sister also had gave me this card, and I have to read this. When I look at you, I don't just see my sister. I see an incredible woman whose light shines and shines. You inspire those around you to be a little kinder, a little stronger, and a lot better, because you try so hard to be all of those things yourself. When I say that's my sister, this is my baby sister. It's always with love and pride. And today, it's with total happiness that I wish you a happy birthday. God bless you, and everybody encouraged. Just be encouraged, okay? Be encouraged. Don't let nobody defile you. Be who God has called you to be, and enjoy life while you can. God bless.
Thank you so much for that. And of course, again, happy Women's History Month. Let's give all the women a very big hand. And as you see today, the women and all of those that are supporting the Women's Auxiliary are in shades of green. and everybody looks great in your green, so thank you for that, and thank you to all of the Women's Auxiliary, again, for all of the great work that you do. One of the most active committees we have here in the National Action Network. Give yourselves a hand, ladies. Y'all don't clap for yourselves. My God. Lord, have mercy. Y'all must have woke up and was quiet. Y'all on reserve time. All right. Step up, tell us your name, where you're from, and briefly, what's on your mind.
Yes, my name is Ernest Waters, and I'm from the Bronx. I want to thank all the people that went to Albany with us on Monday. All right, Victor Pate took us to Albany so we could stand up for a cause and justice. All right, so I wrote this, standing up for us, Victor Pate. Thank you, Victor Pate. Every man deserves a second chance. A trip to Albany, in God we trust, with Victor Pate and the rest of us. The bus left from 125th. If you were not there, the bus you missed. Politicians got on the mic, tried to pass the laws that will give us civil rights. Whenever Victor Pate calls, we all come for us all. Standing up for every man, Victor Pate, Nan, second chance. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Mr. Ernest. And of course, again, thank you to the Second Chance Committee of the National Action Network, again, for all the great work that you do and continually to go and advocate for what you are believing and what you are going forward. And we look forward to the Second Chance panel at our national convention, which is on Saturday, April 11th. So make sure that everybody is registered. If you know Lottie, Dottie, everybody, get everybody you know, Pookie, Ray Ray, everybody. And get everybody registered. We have over 8,000 people that have registered for our national convention, and that is going to be a very big turnout, and we're so glad that all of those people have already pre-registered. So if you are in this building, or if you are watching online and you have not registered already, what does that mean you have to do? Register. How many people in here have registered a friend or a family member? Very good. God bless you. Thank you for being national evangelists for the National Action Network. We need you to register more people because we want to make sure that we pack the room and show them that we have an agenda for this year, 2026. All right? All right. Mother Ivy, let me walk over here. What's on your mind this morning?
Good morning, my name, children. My name is Mother Ivy Walton. I'm from Brooklyn, New York, and I just like to thank Reverend Bird for sharing his space with us. Dr. Bernard spoke on Saturday with Liz Black and told us how small our space is, and to think that Reverend Bird shares his space with us. I thank you, Reverend Bird. And I like to say to all of my Nan's children, on Monday, Mother learned a great lesson. Thank you guys for being my eyes, my ear, and my legs. And Mother will ever be grateful to you guys. And women, let Mother just say this to you. Embrace your womanhood. Be proud that you are a woman. When you look in the glass at yourself, say, look at this beautiful woman. Look at this handsome man. Brothers, we are not leaving you guys out. Embrace your manhood.
Thank you so much, Mother Ivy, for that. And we're so glad to see the vice chair of our board here, Attorney Jennifer Jones-Austin, is with us this morning. Let's give her a very big hand. Step up, tell us your name and where you're from and what's on your mind.
Good morning. I'm glad to be here with the National Action Network this morning. This is Dr. Jesse Fields, Harlem community doctor, and what is on my mind is housing and health. What is on my mind is, to quote, the rental rip-off hearings The next one will be in East Harlem on 109th Street on a week from today, March 28th. I think the mayor should hear from the residents of New York City public housing, should hear the residents' point of view on why a judge appointed a federal monitor to oversee NYCHA over the issue of lead poisoning and the fact that that NYCHA failed, the authority failed to inspect apartments for lead. Children were lead poisoned, and the authority said they had done the inspections when they had not. That was a great violation and harm and neglect of the residents and their families and the children. It was a violation, a safety violation. It was widespread and ongoing. A federal monitor had to be appointed. I think the mayor should want to know what has been the residents' experience of these episodes of corruption and violations. What has been the residents' experience of the conversion from public housing Section 9 to RAD and PAC privatization, project-based Section 8? And why have there been fires and people died at developments in the RAD PAC program at Weiss Towers in Manhattan and Boston Secor in the Bronx, which just happened recently, both managed by the same management company, Wave Crest Management? Does the mayor want to know? I think the mayor should want to know from the point of view of the residents why the largest number of federal bribery charges on a single day in the history of the Department of Justice was from NYCHA. 70 NYCHA employees were charged and convicted of bribery, fraud, or extortion in November of last year. There is a health crisis in this city. There's a health crisis in public housing involving mold, asthma, leaks, lack of utilities, elevators not working properly, and the stress of living in these conditions is hurting our people. There is a crisis of corruption. It's not the residents that are doing this, but the organization itself, the structure of NYCHA, I believe is deeply corrupt and must be transformed. Any plan for the future of public housing in this city that does not include the lives and voices of the residents of public housing in its design and implementation will not serve the residents. Let NYCHA residents speak equally and fully right beside private renters. Let NYCHA residents speak and private renters speak. Let everyone speak and learn about their lives and learn about the challenges we face as neighbors, as New Yorkers, and come together as a city. No justice, no peace. Thank you.
Thank you for that. And of course, we have our housing committee here, so if there is anybody that is in need and wants to speak with someone about their housing situation, you can always call us here at 877-626-4651, and someone will definitely be able to help you. Step up, tell us your name, and briefly what is on your mind.
My name is Deacon Tony Bella. I go to Great Essential Baptist Church. One thing that is bothering me, do everybody know that they have a disability? How do you deal with your disability? Because if I really want to get deep into it, Martha had a disability. Matter of fact, everybody that got you had a disability. But you know what? I want y'all to do me a favor. When you go home tonight, think about what is my disability. And think about how do people like the contaminant live because of God. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you so much. Deacon Anthony, and he asked a very serious question. And everybody should go home and think about it. Take your time at home and ask yourself, what is my disability? That was his exact question. And everybody has something. And we are so glad we have a disabilities committee here that is very active, and we're so glad that Deacon Anthony is one of the founding members of it. And so we are continuing to pray for him and all of those. No matter what your disability is, we know here at NAN we always talk about helping folks with disability, helping folks with mental health and all of the different types of disability, and we are praying for those that are dealing with it because everybody has something that they are dealing with. Please step up, tell us your name, and briefly what is on your mind.
My name is Anna Quaino from Queens, though I was born in Savannah, Georgia, historical of Savannah, Georgia. What I want to speak on, this is Women's Month, and I know a lot of historical female leaders have already been spoken for already, but I still want to speak on the Grandessa models. They were from Harlem. They were founded in Harlem, and they are black female models who revolutionized Black is Beautiful in the 1960s. They rejected white standards of beauty. Not that they rejected white standards of beauty, because there's beautiful white women too, but also we had to highlight the fact that Black are beautiful. And they, am I supposed to hold this? No. Oh, but they had afros, big afros, small afros. They wore the African attire. They were in all shades of blackness, and they were proud of being Black. And they impedified the fact that Black people, Black women is beautiful. And just like the mother said earlier, that we have to be proud of who we are. And that's what we did. And what happened is that I was here for the Hazel Duke Memorial, and I was sitting down and they had newspapers attributing to Hazel Duke. And I opened up the page, and this lady next to me said, "Do you know the Grandessa models?" I said, "Yeah, I saw them in the 60s, because that's my era, the 1960s and the Civil Rights Movement. In the 60s, I saw them, beautiful Black women." And he says, "Well, I'm an original Grandessa models." I said, "Wow, you're still active." They said, "We still do shows and what have you." But the fact that Black beauty in the 1960s was exemplified for these models. It wasn't about fashion. There was revolutionizing Blackness in this country, especially in New York City, in this country. What I wanted to conclude is that, Dan is saying that no justice, no peace. But I have in my living room a slogan that says, "No Jesus, N-O, no Jesus, no peace, N-O. No Jesus, K-N-O-W, and you will know peace." And so therefore, when we vote, if you love Jesus, remember to vote. That's showing that we love Jesus.
Amen. Well, thank you for that. Come on, everybody, step up, tell us your name, and briefly, everybody, what's on your mind?
All right, my name is Maurice. I'm from Brooklyn, and before I say what's on my mind, I want to say something from the good book, right? So, do not be deceived. God is not mocked. For as a man sows, that will he also reap. How does that relate to what we're going through today? Now, our president, your president, I didn't vote for him. Donald Trump, all year, has been placing tariffs on our allies and acting like he doesn't care about them. Now that he's made this blunder and he needs protection in the Strait of Hormuz, he's out here begging them to come and be the protection. And they were like, "No, you see these rocks over here, you could kick them," all right? So they told him where to go, because as a man reaps, as a man sows, so shall he reap. Now we're in this situation because we didn't learn the first time that we voted for him, when he led us into a pandemic. And he ignored all of his advisors and made the pandemic worse. Told you to drink bleach, stop wearing masks, and do all that. Now, he's leading us into a war, right? And he's doing the same thing. He is out here ignoring all his advisors who said it was a bad idea and just making the war worse. He's out here reducing sanctions on our enemies. And I mean, it's just bad because as a man sows, so shall he reap, right? So now the fix to this, let's get out there and vote. Let's make him a lame duck president by voting in the midterms and taking back Congress. No justice, no peace.
Thank you so much. Step up, tell us your name, and briefly, what's on your mind?
Good morning, Minister Christian. My name is Rodney from Queensbridge, New York. What's on my mind is Black women history. Ann Cole Lowe, December 14, 1898. February 25, 1981, was an American fashion designer, best known for designing the ivory silk taffeta wedding dress worn by Jacqueline Bouvier when she married John F. Kennedy in 1953. She was the first African American to become a noted fashion designer. Lowe's designs were popular among upper-class women for 5 decades, from the 1920s through the 1960s. Black women history is American history. No justice, no peace.
Thank you so much. Step up, tell us your name, and briefly, what's on your mind?
Good morning, I'm Winifred from Brooklyn, and I'm from Cameroon. I'm here today to hail one of the greatest African, former First Lady of Nigeria, Miriam Babangida. Through her program, Better Life for Rural Women, she uplifted the lives of rural women all across Nigeria. She engaged all the First Ladies, all the governors' wives in the various states to oversee the program. She herself was always on the move and got very little recognition. One person described what she was doing as, if Ministry of Agriculture is well organized, it would embody what she was doing. No justice, no peace.
All right, step up, tell us your name, and briefly, what's on your mind?
Good day, everybody, and God bless everybody. My name is Sister Reverend Word. I'm from Heaven, born in Harlem. I'm 74 years old and new. I'm a National Action Network lifetime member, and I'm a Jesus Christian. Of course, what's on my mind is Bible scriptures. And just to keep it short, the truth does not hurt. Christ Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. We do not need people lying to us. So the one truth is we need Democrats in both houses. That's my truth on that subject. I'm changing a little bit because I really appreciate the women really acknowledging the Grandassa models. God blessed me to be a Grandassa model in the 80s. Ilambe Brathwaite and Kwame Brathwaite, thank you. And we did our last show at the S'mores Paradise. It was a wonderful experience. And we have to maintain that Black is beautiful at all times because God created us Black. So God bless y'all and good day. And remember, we need Democrats in both houses, so get out the vote. We need this. We need the opportunity to keep our rights. God bless y'all. Good day.
Thank you so much. Step up, tell us your name, and briefly, what's on your mind?
My name is Tony. Y'all know that. What's on my mind is something that President Trump said. He was talking to somebody being interviewed, and he said, how come Japan didn't inform us that they was going to bomb Pearl Harbor? I'm like, who talks like that? This guy's, he got no brain. And so what he made me realize and think about is a book, one of my favorite books of all time. It's called Power versus Force. It is a powerful book about how to recognize people's consciousness level, but also your own. And so there's 3 main categories. I want to share that so you all can see that amongst yourselves and him. So there's people who don't understand context. So they get mad at you because you don't see things the way they do because they don't know what context is. Then you got some people who can see context but content, but they can't put them together. That's the middle consciousness level. And then you got the highest consciousness level who people can see context and content all at the same time. And if anybody needs to understand what context really is, just listen to Charles Wright and the 103rd Street Band, their one-hit wonder, Express Yourself. And that's what I got. I want everybody to be smart, be able to know how to communicate with people who are not as smart as you so you can get through to them and actually have life work. I'm complete.
Thank you. Step up, tell us your name, where you're from, and briefly, what is on your mind?
Good morning, Minister Sandra. If taking Accessory, they have a program that says fair, so you could pay the $1.50, but you have to go online and fill out the application. And I just want to shout out, thank you for my pastor being a woman. She gives good word. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister Sandra, for that, and thank you to all of those that contributed for What's on Your Mind. Please remember that the viewpoints that you heard are simply that of the contributor and do not directly reflect that of the National Action Network. If you have not registered already for our NAN convention, we have over 8,000 people registered. If you have not registered, make sure that you register today. You can call 877-626-4651 or visit us at www.nationalactionnetwork.net. Thank you again, and turning it back over to Nancy Crawford.
Thank you, Minister Matthew, and to all that contributed to today's What's on Your Mind. Well, we are in the third Saturday of Women's History Month. Yes, and this morning, the Women's Auxiliary host is the Vice Treasurer of the Women's Auxiliary. Let us welcome Sister Verna Parker.
Greetings and good morning. The women of NAN are in the house, on the move, connecting, supporting, uplifting the movement and our causes, activating women on the ground to be engaged and involved in the change we wish to see. The Women's Auxiliary of National Action Network's New York City chapter is an active component of the nation's leading civil rights organization under the leadership of Reverend Dr. Al Sharpton. We organize to energize women in this city to show up, be involved, and have a voice. We support the chapter and leadership in ways that work to sustain the network and its grounds. We work to connect and empower the next generation for success. We invite you to join and support the Women's Auxiliary and help lift our women up, women who have been the movement pillars for many generations. We meet every first Saturday of the month following a Saturday Action Rally. For more information on how to join us, please call 877-626-4651. Today, the Women Auxiliary are wearing shades of green, which is widely associated with nature, growth, harmony, and good health. Our guest speaker this morning is NAN Women Auxiliary member Marion Parkins, who is a registered nurse at Harlem Hospital's Emergency Department. Let's give her a great welcome.
Good morning, and good morning, Women Auxiliary. You guys looking great. Give yourself a big round of applause, yeah? Today I will be discussing about hypertension and some of the stuff that you can do and make sure that you do your checkups. Okay, so hypertension, also known as high blood pressure, this is a very common condition and a major risk factor for cardiovascular disease. I will cover what is, why it matters, risk factors, diet, and some supplement that may help to manage high blood pressure. But first, before you take your supplement, contact your doctors. Hypertension is defined as persistent blood pressure of 130/80 or higher. Blood pressure has two numbers: systolic, which is the pressure when the heart contracts, and diastolic, which is when the heart relaxes. It is often called the silent killer because many patients have no symptoms. Hypertension occurs due to increased resistance in blood vessels. Over time, arteries become stiff and narrow. The renin-angiotensin-aldosterone system, or RASS, also plays a role by increasing fluid retention and vasoconstriction, which raises blood pressure. Risk factors include both non-modifiable and modifiable factors. Non-modifiable include age, genetics. Modifiable factors include obesity, smoking, high salt intake, lack of exercise, stress. These are important because they can be targeted for prevention. If left untreated, hypertension can lead to serious complications such as stroke, heart attacks, kidney failures, and even vision loss. This is due to long-term damage to blood vessels and organs. One of the best approach is the DASH diet, which stands for Dietary Approach to Stop Hypertension. It focuses on fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean protein, and low-fat dairy. It also emphasizes reducing sodium intake. Patients should avoid high-sodium foods such as processed and fast food, canned soup, and salty snacks. Excessive alcohol and sugary drink should also be limited. Lifestyle changes are the first line of treatment. This includes exercise at least 30 minutes, maintaining a healthy weight, quitting smoking, managing stress, and limiting alcohol intake. Some supplements may help support blood pressure control. These include CoQ10, aged garlic extract, magnesium glycinate, and omega fatty acid. However, they should not replace prescribed medication. Examples include Quinal Ultra Q10, 100 milligram, and aged garlic. These may support heart health and modestly lower blood pressure, but patients should always consult their doctor, their healthcare provider, before starting supplement. It is important for patients to monitor blood pressures regularly, stay adherent to medication, and be aware of possible interaction between supplement and prescribed drugs. In conclusion, hypertension is a common but manageable condition with proper lifestyle changes, diet, medical management. Patients can significantly reduce their risk of complication. And I will go on to say, don't wait until you have an episode. You should check with your doctor, have your regular annual checkup. Ladies, you know you should have your annual, your self-breast exam, do your mammogram, do your pap smear, and the men should do their colonoscopy and make sure they do their digital rectal exam. And I know that some of you guys don't like to go to the doctor until when you're crawling, but you should. And when it comes to Health and Hospital Corporation, there is a lot of stuff that is there that when you go to the clinic, there is social worker there to help you with housing, with medical insurance, and a whole slew of assistance is there. You just have to ask and make sure. Don't use your emergency department for your clinic or your doctor. Go and have your annual checkup. Thank you.
Let's give her another hand for that vital information. The Women's Auxiliary, we're so blessed with the treasures that we have within our Women's Auxiliary. So anyone who is interested in joining, please meet us every first Saturday and become a part of this. We have nurses, we have people that work in hospitals, we have lawyers, we have people that work wherever, everywhere, all across. So come and be a part of the Women's Auxiliary, because we are the auxiliary. Yeah, we are. Let us welcome the Nan Change Ensemble. Soloists, oh, we're going to have a solo? Okay. All right. Thank you. Let's give him a hand, Brother Malcolm Seal, for that beautiful solo, saxophone solo. All right. At this time, we're going to ask Bishop Mitchell Taylor of the Center of Hope International in Long Island if he will come forward and have some words. Let's give him a hand.
Good morning, family. I'm representing today, I am Bishop Mitchell Taylor, the senior pastor of the Center of Hope International in Long Island City. But today, I'm in my capacity as the CEO of Urban Upbound, an organization that was created 22 years ago to break cycles of poverty in public housing neighborhoods. And just before I go into my very brief presentation, Urban Upbound was established to break cycles of poverty in public housing neighborhoods. I grew up in Queensbridge. Any Queensbridge folks here today? Okay, at least Rodney's here, Mayor Rodney's here. And so both of us growing up in Queensbridge houses have experienced initiatives and programs that are parachuted into the development to allegedly save us and build us, but they were just fleeting moments of time. And I decided that it was now time for us to create something for ourselves from the inside out and from the bottom up. So 22 years ago, yeah, it's a great place to clap. 22 years ago, we began organizing all the social networks that exist in public housing neighborhoods, your religious leaders, your resident leaders, your elected officials, other nonprofits. And we said, how could we give people not a hand out, but a hand up and a foot in the door? And we did surveys, about 4,000 or 5,000 surveys in Northwestern Queens, and we came up with 7 program areas that we developed over the last 22 years. Business innovation, helping small businesses on the ground scale and get financed. Career development, placing folks in jobs. We do about 2,000 placements every year. One-on-one financial counseling. Bill Clinton said rich people have financial planners, but poor people actually need them. And then college access and vocational training for our young people, getting them through high school and to that post-secondary step. And then my dad said, you'll never be able to make sustainable change unless you own money. I said, what you talking about, Willis? And he said, open up your own bank. And so 16 years ago we did, and we have 2 branches, the Urban Upbound Federal Credit Union. We have a personal banking branch on 40th Avenue, right across the street from Queensbridge houses. And then we have a business branch. On Steinway Street in Astoria. And finally, the Urban Upbound Mental Health Department. But today, what I'm here to talk about is our first program that we launched 22 years ago, which was free professional tax prep. And the first year we did this in 2005, we did 81 returns, and we got $253,000 back into the hands of those 81 individuals. I thought we saved the world. We did a New York One interview. We had an article in the Post and the Daily News. I thought we saved the world. But now, today, I am proud to report that we are $850 million in cumulative returns over the last 22 years. And we're the largest #1 tax preparer in the state of New York and ranked #3 in the country. And so we do individual taxes for individuals, and if you make under $100,000 a year, we can do your family taxes. If you're an individual, single, making under $60,000 a year, we can do your taxes. If you own your own business and you make under you have an expense of under $300,000 in your small business, we can do your taxes for free. And I did fail to recognize our leader on this morning, the Reverend Dr. Al Sharpton. Let's give him a big hand. And I did see my sister slip in, Dr. Jennifer Jones Austin. Give her a big hand on today. And all the officials here at the National Network. All right, I have flyers. If you'd like to get your taxes done, we have locations here in Harlem. Take the flyer, scan the barcode, and you'll find at least 6 or 7 locations here in East and Central Harlem. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Bishop, for that information. Let us now welcome, to bring an inspirational word to us, Reverend Orcella Hughes, the senior pastor of St. Luke AME in the village of Harlem.
Good morning, National Action Network. This is the day the Lord has made. We shall rejoice and be glad in it. Amen. Amen. And happy Women's History Month to all of the beautiful women that have gathered here this morning. I certainly give honor to God this morning and to our president and founder, the Reverend Dr. Al Sharpton, our vice chair, our chairman, Dr. William Franklin Richardson, and it is always great to be in the presence of our vice chair, Dr. Jennifer Jones Austin, as well, and to each and every one of you. Isaiah 58, 9 through 10 simply says, "Then you will call and the Lord will answer. You will cry for help and he will say, 'Here am I.' If you do away with the yoke of oppression, with the pointing finger and malicious tongue, and if you spend yourselves in behalf of the hungry and satisfy the needs of the oppressed, then your light will rise in the darkness and your night will become like the noonday." Just for about 2 more minutes now, I just want to inspire you with these words: faith that fights back. Faith that fights back. You know, it's interesting that how since February 18th, we have had 2 Christian families, communities in the season of fasting, Ramadan and Lent. And so these are 2 communities that have been fasting and drawing ourselves closer to our causes and to our purposes. And so we have to come out of these fasts different than when we went in. For so many communities, we think of fasting as giving up, but we have to change that narrative into what we are going to do when we come out of the fast. How are we going to be different? Will we act the same? Will we look the same? Will we treat each other the same? Isaiah 58 is very clear that there is no need to fast if you're still going to come out wicked. There's no need to fast if you're still going to come out not fighting for your community. There's no need to give up anything with God if you're still not going to live like God on the other side of the fast. And so what does our faith do? Our faith looks at our communities. Our faith mostly looks at ourselves. Who am I when I walk into the fast? And who do I want to be when I come out of the fast? I need somebody to understand that, because we are living in dark times. We are living in times where people like to hide in the dark and don't want to come out into the light. We are living in times where even when they come out in the light, they don't represent God, the light that we live. And so my time is short this morning, but I want everyone to realize that their faith is stronger than you realize. When you have faith that's stronger than a mustard seed or the size of a mustard seed, you can do impossible things. So don't allow your faith to keep you under a rock, but allow your faith to keep you fighting, keep believing, keep having faith, keep moving, keep striving, because it depends. Our community is depending on us not to back down, but our community is depending on us to move forward. So if you are with me this morning, let us say, faith will help me fight back. My faith will help me fight back. My faith will help me to fight back. God bless you and keep you. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor Hughes. Thank you, Pastor Hughes, for that powerful word. Let us now welcome. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to National Action Network Live on 107.5 WBLS. Let us now receive our president and founder, the Reverend Dr. Al Sharpton.
No justice. No justice. No justice. No justice. What do we want? What do we want? What do we want? When do we want it? 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 Shake hands with the person next to you. Tell them you love them.
Never give up and never give in. A change will come. Keep it down within. Troubles and trials will last always. With God on our side.
Many of us celebrate the flower, but never acknowledge the seed. In 2008, we elected the first black president. But the seed had been planted in 1964 when a black woman named Fannie Lou Hamer went to Atlantic City to the Democratic Convention and challenged the Democratic Party on voting rights and challenged them on living up to the democracy that they preach. Little did Fannie Lou know that in '64, that 20 years later, in '84, Jesse Jackson would run for president. And then in 2004, I would run for president. And then the next cycle in 2008, Barack Obama would win for president. It's one long journey without a broken line, started by a black woman, just like it was a black woman that built the Underground Railroad and brought us to freedom. It all started with our women. And if you're faithful to the mothers that plant the seeds, your change will come. If you're going through the path of the presidential occurrences down through the years, you have to stop by 1972, when a black woman from Brooklyn, New York, named Shirley Chisholm, said that I'm gonna run. Before any black men would stand up at her level, and many black men in leadership at that time said Shirley shouldn't run, she ran and broke through. And she chipped through that glass that finally will be broken. So from Fannie Lou Hamer to Shirley Chisholm, back to Harriet Tubman, back to a woman that changed her name in this church from being a slave to being named Sojourner Truth. And it is the truth, and it is a journey, a sojourn. Our change will come.
Will come. Your change. Your change is gonna come.
Yes, your change will come. Your change.
Your change
will come.
will come.
Your change.
Your change is gonna come.
Oh, your change.
Your change. Change will come.
Change will come. Starting with you.
Starting with you.
Your change will come. Your change will come.
National Action Network Change Choir, give them a big hand. Give them a big hand. Certainly we're happy to be with you another Saturday morning for the Saturday Action Rally here live at Mother AME Zion Church in Harlem, and of course pastored by our COO. Give a hand to our pastor, the Reverend Dr. Malcolm Byrd. And certainly give a hand to our officiate, Sister Nancy Darlene Crawford. And didn't we enjoy that message? It was brief, but it got to the point. Sister Reverend Hughes, St. Luke's. And we're glad to have her. She's a member of participating members. A lot of people are members when it's convenient. You know, I got more members calling to get in the banquet at the convention that I haven't seen since the last banquet. But she's an active member and great pastor, and we appreciate her and her presence. Give her another hand. And then we are so happy that Bishop came by. Give Bishop a hand. Let me tell you, Mitchell Taylor's work in terms of not only the work in terms of the credit unions, but dealing with housing and dealing with the affordability issue on the ground before it became known is something that we ought to really support and know about. He spoke, many of you watching online, WBLS, all of you should we need to deal with the economics of our community and the economics of our own home. Most of us don't plan any business for our own families. Now, I understand why, because we're only 1 or 2 generations away from having any business to worry about. You know, my mother and father didn't think about a will, they would think about how to get by. But some of y'all are stable enough now and could get help building up credit and others with working with people like Bishop Taylor on you. Martin Luther King said, what is the benefit of being able to go and eat in any restaurant if you can't pay the check? Or if you can check in any hotel, but you can't pay for the room. So economics is important and it's personal. So it's not Bishop Taylor's doing something other than ministry, that is ministry. And then because many of us were raised in a time where we had been denied, when we get a little bit of money, we're irresponsible. And we're not taught how to bank, we're not taught how to budget. Guys I grew up in Brownsville with, got one check from the poverty program, bought a Cadillac. Live in the kitchenette, but got a Cadillac Brougham. Cars bigger than their house. Not knowing that the minute you drive off the lot, the car devalues. So you need a Bishop Mitchell Taylor in our community, and we extol him and support him. Give him a big hand. And let me acknowledge the presence of the vice chairman of our board, who is the apostle of affordability in community. He has been on it longer and stronger than anybody. Give a hand to Attorney Jennifer Jones Austin. Now, let me say before going into any other comments, when I saw Attorney Jones Austin, she has almost single-handedly negotiated the purchase that we will be moving into National Action Network headquarters. We have a closing date. And I think we will be able, I know we'll be able to close before the convention and announce exactly where it is, not far from here in Harlem. And we're going to own our own building. And I'm excited about it. And she works with the attorneys, but she's been the lead attorney on negotiating this and getting us where we've already signed a contract of purchase. Now we just go to closing. It would not have happened without her work, her diligence, because y'all know I don't know negotiate. I get mad and walk out. And when the figures don't say what they're supposed to say, I don't know nothing about all that. But she knows how to do the activist, and she can be Ralph Bunche and Huey Newton at the same time. And the thing I like about it is that she is in the lineage of this movement. What I mean by that, for you listening to Radio Land, that hear her on her show with Fatim on Sunday mornings, is that she is the daughter of Reverend William Jones. And Reverend William Jones was appointed the head of Operation Breadbasket New York by Dr. King, and then worked with Reverend Jackson, who Dr. King made national director. That's her daddy. So she grew up in a house of movement. And I keep saying one of the tragedies that has happened to us that we do not reconnect is that we are the only group in the country that does not teach our young people the lineage and the history that they are expected to continue. It does not mean it's the same style, but it means you cannot advance as a people if every generation changes roads, because there's no continuity then of building anything. That's why they can gentrify us early. That's why what Taylor's doing is important. That's why what Jenny does is important. If they can gentrify us, Reverend Hughes, is because so many of us are thinking that the world is to try and get away from us. Buy you a house in New Jersey, buy a house in Ireland that you lose over a period of time. And then they take your heritage, your family heritage in inner city Brooklyn, in inner city Harlem, and they value it up. And you can't even afford to come back.
My God.
What they charge now for real estate in Bed-Stuy, East New York, West Side Chicago, Atlanta, I'm traveling all over the country. They've taken what we call a ghetto and changed it into high-rise, unaffordable housing in the same location. If we had kept grandma's property, rather than running around trying to be a fashion plot. That's why I was talking to Reverend Bird up in his study that I hijack every Saturday after the rally. I give it back to him about 3 o'clock. And I was telling him one of the things, Reverend Bird's in his early 40s, one of the things I like about him, aside from being a great preacher and good pastor, is that he respects the lineage of the AME Zion Church. Anytime you find preachers that talk about, well, there's time for a new generation, anybody that has to use age to get on the platform, you should not trust.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's right.
There is nothing innately ingenious about being young.
Come on.
I started as a boy preacher. I joined the movement when I was 12 under her father. But if I had not been mentored and trained by the likes of Reverend William Augustus Jones, Bishop F.D. Washington, Jesse Jackson, I would not have, when I came of age, been able to do what I needed to do and then made mistakes and could go back to them to get guidance. Anybody that doesn't want guidance is going to mess up. And you don't need to say nothing. You don't need to say nothing. Watch them. They will mess up on their own. I remember one preacher got in a little mess years ago, and I told Reverend Jackson, I said, did you hear about so-and-so? Man, there's something we need to. He said, don't say nothing, Al. I said, what do you mean? He said, don't even talk about it. He said, if you see a man at the edge of a cliff about to go over, don't get close. Don't turn a suicide into a homicide. They'll say you pushed him over. Just give him all the room. Let him fall on his own. A lot of our young folk here in Nan, Reverend Bird, early 40s, Reverend Marshall, all of our young folks that are leading in the huddle are doing what is right. The Bible goes from one generation to the other.
Yes, sir.
Elisha said, Elijah, just give me a double portion. He didn't say drop dead, let me take over.
My God.
Hello. Jesus when we meet Jesus. Jenny, St. Matthew's first chapter, first thing they do for any miracle is they do his lineage back to David.
That's right. That's right.
They go back 4,000 years to David. This is God's son. If God's son had to establish his lineage, what do you think you are? And who do you think you are? And that's why I respect and admire these young folk. That's why we building us a building. Some young folk will run that building after I'm gone.
Yes, sir.
My job is to put it there. Somebody else's is to hold it there. But if they don't understand why it's there, it will not be a house of justice.
Yes, sir.
I want people, I'm going to make an appeal before the broadcast. I want people around the country to be able to invest in the building. And I want about 1,000 people that will give $500 or more to go to www.nationalactionnetwork.net. Those who give $500 on the building. We'll have a placard of people that help purchase this building. We've already got the financing, but we need to purchase it. And I don't make appeals. I'm not one of them that say, I'm going to send you a blessed nothing. I'm going to build a headquarters for liberation, and I need 1,000 of you around the country to help us do it. Let me say that it is, in my judgment, the height of insensitivity that we're dealing with the same issues over and over again with this president. I had to speak in Houston on this week, and then I went to Houston on Thursday, and then on to Kansas City on Friday. And in Houston, our board member, Commissioner Rodney Ellis, had a meeting of about 200 faith leaders and elected officials trying to make us come together to do what can be done in Texas. And what amazed me is when I landed in Houston and was coming through the airport and people stopping and talking, when you get outside, the line was from throughout the whole concourse, down through the parking lot, all the way out up the road. Because the Republicans will not make the deal to finance the Department of Homeland Security with no money going to ICE until they reform ICE. They have now going in their third week of TSA workers not getting paid. Now, let me tell you what that means. If you don't have TSA workers not getting paid, not only do their families suffer, it makes you wonder whether it is secure to even fly.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
I'm running all over the country, and it's the first time I'm wondering about security. People, man, I'll take a selfie. I'm concerned, is that really a camera in your hand?
My God. My Lord. Wow.
I might be posing to be chosen. So the brutality of that, and I want to thank Bishop James Dixon and others. You working with our Houston chapter, they bring in a large contingent, and I want to thank the Urban League of Kansas City gave me the Difference Makers Awards. But I want to get on this Congress, and they're trying to act like the Democrats are the problem. No, the problem is they want to fund the Department of Homeland Security, including ICE, without changing the ways and the accountability of ICE, and they cannot allow ICE that has killed in cold blood at least 2 people and have gone to violate others, they cannot be allowed to go forward. I definitely want us to be clear on that. I'm going to deal with that tonight on Politics Nation. I'm going to deal with the question of why are we still dealing with this hypocrisy. But I also want to get into, I don't want people to forget that the Affordable Care Act has not been renewed. people that are listening to me now or watching me on Impact TV, their premiums are going up, some doubled. And it's almost not discussed. We cannot let Trump take the news his way. You know, he come outside and say something silly every day, so you forget health care is going up. He just dream of stuff. Wake up in the middle of the night and just start tweeting stuff on Truth Social. Oh, we gonna pull out of Iran. Oh, we ain't gonna pull out. And got you just jumping and wait. What about health care? What about our voting rights? This act that he's trying to get through, SAVE Act, will in many ways disenfranchise our right and use of voting. But they're not talking about that because they're trying to ramrod it through. Now, and one of the things that we need to deal with is we need to make it clear that if they pass that through the Senate, that we've got to stop it in the Congress. Because one of the reasons I started on continuity and jumping on these folks trying to change generations is that voting rights, civil rights, open housing came out of the generation ahead of us. Our generation may be the generation that loses all of that. And if they can disconnect you from what preceded you, you won't know how to maintain what you got because you did not study the strategies of how you got it. I was asking one of my friends, well, Red Mal, you know, y'all be telling people to vote, all I want is reparations. Well, who you gonna get it from? The only way and nobody's more for reparations than I am, but the only way you're gonna get reparations is the U.S. Congress and others are gonna have to vote to repair the damage that was done. And if you don't vote, who do you think's gonna be sitting up there voting to give you some reparations? Talk like you got good sense. If you let the right wing stay in, you won't even get health care, less known reparations. So when we look at the SAVE Act, they're saying that they want people to have certain ID, like passports. Well, to get a new passport now costs you $150, $200. To get other ID costs you money. So it is the equivalent of a poll tax. Because people on fixed income ain't got $150 to go get a passport. Especially some of us that ain't going nowhere.
My Lord.
Tony don't need a passport to go from Queens to Harlem. So, and it disproportionately affects our community. So there's nothing more important than dealing right now with the SAVE Act and the renewal of our health care. People in rural states, I tell you, I was in Texas and Kansas this week, they're gonna suffer more than anybody. But sometimes in their pursuit of stopping us, they'll sacrifice their own. Trump don't care. They look like collateral damage to him. At the same time now, I want you to see how, and we're dealing with, let me also say, we're at the same time dealing with police misconduct. I'm going this week with Attorney Ben Crump. I'm doing the funeral of Steve Jones in Connecticut, Hartford, Connecticut. Policeman, his young man had a mental health issue. And the policemen were trying to talk him down. He had a knife in his hand, trying to talk him down. And one cop just rolled up and just shot him and killed him. Press said to me, you come to this funeral, he had a knife in his hand. He had a mental condition. that you all should be trained to deal. The other police understood that. Yeah, I'm coming. You don't shoot people with mental conditions in other communities, you're not gonna get away with it in our community. So I'll be there in Bloomfield to preach his funeral at First Cathedral. But let me say that the point that we really need to watch is while we are seeing that they're not renewing the Affordable Care, while they're not renewing people's jobs because they want to keep the whole setup closed unless they can fund ICE. At the same time, Trump is asking for $200 billion with a B for the war in Iran. $200 billion. They can get $1 billion a day to fight a war that is increasing gas prices here. But they can't pay for the health care that was already legislated. And they're cutting back on programs that are needed. And you're seeing gas prices go up. I was right around Texas seeing gas prices going up. Same thing in Kansas. These are the people that voted for Trump. Who he told was America's gonna be America first. We're not going into wars. He done went into Venezuela. He's gone into now Iran. He's talking about going to Greenland and Cuba. What happened to America first? Is wherever he can cut a deal first for himself.
My God.
I'm going to deal with this on Politics Nation today, 5 o'clock on MS Now and tomorrow. I got some of the senators and congressmen, and I want to ask them, how y'all going to preserve our voting rights? How y'all going to deal with this SAVE Act? How y'all going to deal with these questions of the Affordable Care Act? People are not challenging, and it's not just the Republicans. Some Democrats have laryngitis about the wrong thing, talking about all kind of stuff. I don't want you to tell me how smart you are. Then when my show on TV is, I don't care how smart you are. Give me the what are we gonna do? The whole idea of our sitting back, being impressed with eloquence, with no results, is how we got Donald Trump in the first place.
Right, that's right.
Donald Trump ain't never made a good speech in his life.
Never.
He just rambles on and just be talking about windmills and... I mean, Miller's speech, he starts saying windmills. But he made his crowd believe if they put him in, he would serve their interest. And what I try to do on Politics Nation and with Nan is make people address our interests. At our convention, you from around the country, we've already got over 8,000 people that have pre-registered. The convention is free, April 8th through the 11th, right here. We've got 4 governors already confirmed. Some of them that the media is talking about running for president, already confirmed. Others are already confirmed. Dr. Michael Eric Dyson is going to be working with Jamal Watson with our scholars. I'm just going on our website, and you'll see the names. We're releasing them today of every day what we're doing. Top names so that as we do these workshops, you get information and here in the fireside chats, and in some, we're interacting with the audience because we coming out of there with an agenda. We came last year and left there and did what we said, and we coming this year in the midterm elections to do the same thing. This is not the National Procrastination Network. This is the National Action Network. And people all over the world, we got 132 chapters in the city, in the country. I'll be with the president of Ghana this Tuesday. He's going to African burial ground and invited us to a delegation to be with him at the UN. I was with the president of South Africa, Reverend Jackson's funeral. They all are saying how we need the diaspora to come together. Why? Because the pressure they face is from the U.S. government, and we can fight in the inside where they cannot fight external. That's why we got 60 blacks in the Congress. But we've got to push the blacks in the Congress to support what Greg Meeks and others are trying to do to preserve Africa. It's not enough for you to wear African outfit and not dealing with what is proper for African people.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You change your name, but don't change your game. Now, don't call me Al. I got a friend with school. Don't call me Al by my slave name. My name is Ahubaha. I gave up my slave name, but you still acting like a slave.
Wow.
You ain't a member, nothing. You're not participating, nothing. You run around dressed well, change your name, but your game is the same ignorance that it always was. That's why I was telling Reverend Bird this week, it amazes me that the sense of entitlement we have rather than a sense of struggle.
My God.
Every generation continued the struggle, not the entitlement. Reverend Hughes, people, Reverend Al, who gonna lead after you? First of all, you remember National Action Network? Said, well, no. Well, how do you think you're going to take over something you never was in?
Wow.
Right.
How you gonna lead a movement you was never part of? I mean, let me take out the membership roll before I answer your question. Whoever, as my mama used to say, whosoever succeeds me has to be part of Nan.
That's right.
We got enough young folk growing up in Nan know how to lead. You ain't gonna come in and hijack a movement you don't understand.
Listen here.
Which is why you mess up when you step up.
Wow.
Got a hashtag, Ashley. Other thing I want to deal with, and I'll let you go. One of the things that I've challenged our ministers, and Howard John Wesley's preaching at our William Augustus Jones luncheon this year, one of the great preachers in the country, Howard John Wesley of Alfred Street Baptist Church. And that's what we named the luncheon every year, our ministers' luncheon after William Augustus Jones. I believe in holding up where I come from, continuing the tradition, Jesse and Bill Jones. I don't care what kind of TV show I got, whatever, I call their names. Because if you're not connected to nothing, you're disconnected. But one of the things that I think that we are allowing to go down, and I want all of you that are church members particularly, and ministers that watch this on Impact or listen, is that they have this movement going in the right wing called Christian nationalism.
Right. Teach us. Teach us.
And they have distorted and perverted Christianity in the name of Christian nationalism. First of all, how do you limit Christianity to a nation? Let's start there. Jesus said, go through all the world.
All the world.
He said, go to your nation. Go through all the world and preach the gospel. So for you to nationalize a universal message right there shows you trying to do something that is faulty and sinful. You can't contain God or Jesus, if you're talking Christianity, to your particular patriotism.
Wow.
God was God before there ever was a United States. So your Christian nationalism is a sin within itself. You waving the flag and the cross as equals. Bill Jones used to teach us the flag does not rise to the height of the cross.
My God.
Jesus went to the cross before y'all ever came across the Atlantic and discovered land.
Reverend.
Folk were living here when you got here. But you're going to discover discovery. Like me walking in here tomorrow morning, Mother A.M.E. Zion, and say, I discovered the church. I'm the pastor.
Wow.
And then they killed off Native Americans, enslaved Africans, put their women in the kitchen, and dehumanized them. And then you're going to call yourself a Christian nationalist when you're a fraud. And any self-respecting man or woman of God needs to confront these Christian nationalists. I'm a Christian nationalist. We need to have America a certain way. We need to get rid of all of these people on the outside. Well, where is your Christianity? Jesus told a story about a man, a Samaritan, walking down the road, and a man was laying there, had been robbed and beaten. Somebody of his own ilk, of his own race, walked and saw him and kept walking. Somebody else, second person, was somebody was standing in the church, in the synagogue at that time. Looked at him, did the little religious sign, kept walking. But a Samaritan of another race and another kind picked him up and took care of him. Jesus called him the Good Samaritan. How are you for deporting people that came here, built their business, had their children, and you call yourself a Christian nationalist? You're a Christian fraud. Remember, we can't open the borders. I'm not talking about opening the borders. I'm talking about that people already been here. 2 or 3 generations and built this country. Who do you think is working out on the fields at these farms of these MAGA Republicans? So all of a sudden, you're going to have Donald Trump, a billionaire, tell you how to handle your business. And then you turn around and find out the kind of duplicity they deal with. I've been on hip-hoppers and rappers' case for 20 years, but I've never heard the kind of stuff that I'm hearing about Epstein and this island.
My God. Amazing.
And they're doing everything they can, redacting stuff. I mean, this is some sick stuff.
Can't even imagine. It's crazy.
Imagine how ill it is that you've got all this money, but you find your manhood in violating little vulnerable girls. Something sick about that.
Sickness.
You're such a sick person that you can't deal with grown folks. You can't deal with women that'll talk back. You got to have a child who's vulnerable. So all the money you got don't make you a man. There's something sick about that. And then there's something sick about those that'll cover up to give you cover for that. You just as sick as they are. Bending laws, blacking out names, protecting people that ought to be in a hospital somewhere. Sitting in the world, still doing business. Merging. They're trying to merge all these media companies so they can control the flow of information. Yet they don't want to have all the real news to come out. We need to stand up.
Stand up.
And that has been my challenge, is that in this generation, what are we going to do? That's why I said what I said at Reverend Jackson's funeral. Bishop Taylor, I told people I appreciate, I respect a lot of the speakers. Talking about how Reverend Jackson taught them they were somebody. He taught me that. I learned that slogan, I am somebody. But that's not the end of the story. Once you are knowing that you're somebody, then what are you going to do as somebody? Once you know you God's child, then what are you going to do as God's child? If you're really somebody, you ought to have health care. If you're really somebody, you ought to have your right to vote protected. If you're really somebody, you need to have your schools operate at a level that educates your children. Don't tell me I'm somebody. Act like I'm somebody. How you handle yourself tells us how you see yourself. Your slogan don't tell me nothing. It's how you behave. Are you involved in your community? Are you a member of something? That's why the black church is so important.
That's right. So important.
They want to tell you the black church is yesterday. Well, then what is today then?
Exactly.
Black church was the first thing that we owned. If they can get you out of your foundation, the building will fall down without a foundation. Everybody in our history, whether it was Frederick Douglass or Reverend Nat Turner or Harriet Tubman, all come out the black church. Now we get to you and it ain't good enough for you no more. They done educated you out of your common sense. They give you a degree in brainwashing.
That's good, Rev.
I am Dr. So-and-so. I don't deal with all that hollering and screaming in the black church. Your grandma hollered and screamed to send your ungrateful behind the seminary.
Reverend! Yes, sir. Oh, yeah.
Don't denounce what brought you through. Your professors didn't liberate you. It was grandmas that had no education that laid down in the streets of Alabama and Mississippi and sponsored you. And now you look down on people that lifted you up.
Preach, Reverend. Preach, Reverend. My God.
That's why I'm not telling you everybody got to be in our kind of church, but you need to have faith. Because you ain't gonna fight, you ain't gonna run this race without faith. You are not gonna do what needs to be done because the powers of the world will bear you down. And the only way you're gonna fight this, Jennifer Jones Austin, is you got to believe in another power. The reason I can stand up to Trump is because I believe in another power.
Another power.
Every time I get on an airplane and they take off, I like to, Reverend Hughes, look out the window. The reason I like to look out the window is I look at the elements of nature. And I look at the sun. The sun and the moon never bumped into each other.
Never.
Stars never collided. God made this world in perfect order. And if I'm in order with God, he will fight my battles.
Yes, sir.
That's it.
I remember, I'll let you go. Talking about that faith thing. I saw a reporter about 6 months ago. He's retired now. And he knew me in the 80s. When I was all in a lot of controversial fights, I still am. I'm getting ready to go to Connecticut on Stephen Jones now. But he said to me, he said, you know, Reverend Al, I never thought you survived. They came to stab you one time and died you another time. I never thought you'd be alive, less known, get where you got.
My God.
He said, let me do, I'm not writing no more. How do you explain it? I said, well, let me tell you. One day about 1979, James Brown, the Godfather of Soul, called me and said, Reverend, I want you to come down to Augusta. I want to do a gospel rap record. I said, what is that? He said, you'll see when you get here. I went down, sent me the ticket. We drove up into Greenville, South Carolina. He had his band there. And he said, I like this song that James Cleveland sang. He said, but I want to put it on. I want to put it on with a beat, a James Brown beat. And every time I get to the end of a verse, I want you to do a little sermon there. And we made a record. We never got it out, but I play it every day when I'm working out. And the name of the record off of James Cleveland's song is God Has Smiled on Me.
Yes, sir.
I told this reporter, I said, I couldn't tell you how I made it. Sometime it was a lawyer fought my case. Sometime it was a preacher stood up for me. But all I know is God has smiled on me.
Yes, sir.
He has set me free.
Oh, yeah.
I know y'all called me names, but God smiled on me.
Yeah.
I know you castigated me, but God smiled on me.
Oh, yeah.
I know you said I wouldn't make it, but God smiled on me. God has smiled on me. He has set me free.
Yeah.
Trump can't incarcerate me. God smiled on me. He can't stop me. God smiled on me. God has smiled on me. He set you free. He set you free. He set you free. Your grace and mercy. I want you to play that for me. Your grace and mercy has brought me through.
Yeah.
I'm living this moment because of you.
My God.
I want to thank you and praise you too. Your grace and mercy. Come on, do it one more time for you, Matthew Seals, Matthew Seals. Your grace and mercy.
Yeah.
Live in this moment.
Yes, sir.
Give it up for our band. Everybody's singing. Everybody's singing. Everybody's singing. Everybody's singing. Everybody's singing. Everybody singing. Sing it like you mean it. Sing it like you mean it. Sing it like you mean it. Yeah. I'll open the doors of the movement. There may be someone here today, right here in this sanctuary, that never joined National Action Network. You hear us on the radio, you follow us online. Just come right down to me and shake my hand. Let me sign you up into National Action Network right now. Just come on down. Don't worry about who is looking. Everybody in here looked when they came. Come on. Everybody's singing. Come on, that's right. Everybody sing. Everybody sing. Sing it like you mean it. Sing it like you mean it. Come on. Sing it like you mean it. We want justice. We want freedom. Everybody's singing. All right. All right. I'm going to raise the offering. Now, I want you, some people call me on my radio show saying they want to give online when I give offerings. So I want you that give online, when I start with $100, I'm going to read your name and your name's here. I'm going to high tech on you. Now don't be pledging 100. Hit the $100 and send it to me. Don't send me a love note. Send me $100 or whatever you can, and I will. We have right now 3,100 people watching online, and that's not including YouTube and others. So out of that, I need right here in order to, I need about 10 people and about 100 online that'll give $100 or more to come quickly. Come quickly. Come quickly. I'll read your name if it comes online. And you here in auditorium. Women's Auxiliary, $200. Jennifer Jones Austin, $250. Guardians, $100. Justin, $100. That's the son of Dr. Jamal Watson. Justin Watson, $100. Sister Reverend Word, $500 for the building fund, $500. Janice Word, $500 for the building fund. Get their names on this, because I'm putting their name on the building. Dr. Jesse Fields, $100.
John Cunningham, $200.
John, Brother John, our photographer extraordinaire, $200. Good to see you. Winston Gilchrist, $100. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Brother Garland Court, good member, always come in here with his Western hat and his Tuskegee jacket. Don't leave your hat on the seat, because Tony's sitting over there.
$115 change choir.
Change choir, $115. All right, now give me some 50s, 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 50s. $50s, 50s, come on. Brother David got on his blue and white. And Quaalude, $50. Brother Cleveland, $50. All right, come on, come on. Now I need some. Minister Carolyn's coming, $50. Carolyn Adams online's giving $500 to the building fund. Carolyn, thank you. Sister Lily, $50. All right. Now, whatever you have, $1, $5, $10, $20.
Just gave you $500 for the building.
Bishop Taylor, $500 for the building fund. Come on. Hey. Everybody. Michael McDaniel said, I'm waiting on my Cash App to load up. All right, thank you. Everybody. For Shakima Ray, $3,000 for the building fund. I hope y'all get writing these names because I'm gonna do a whole gold banner plaque in there. 3,000. Isn't that wonderful? All right. Isn't that wonderful? And people are sending over online. And again, and the building fund, we gonna announce by the convention. And y'all will know what building is one of the, well, I'll just say, it is a building you know in Harlem. You just won't know we own it. And it's multi-story. We're gonna be able to do our crisis in there, our Saturday rallies, other events during the week. There, we need a activist building we own in Harlem. Can't nobody tell us when to come, when to go. All right, Joseph Loring, $500 for the building fund. Joyce Drumming, $200 for the building fund. All right, that's wonderful. All right, let's bring in our new member. All right, when I call your name, raise your hand. Amber Jones. Marvin Hurd. Well, give these two new members a big hand and welcome them. We are so happy you came forward. We need you, we want you One of our orientation officers will tell you different committees we have. Or you may have ideas we haven't thought of. This is your organization. This is a people's organization. We need you. We need new thoughts, young thoughts, old thoughts. We need everybody because we as a community must come together. So won't you stand and welcome them to the National Action Network. Give them a big hand. Give them a big hand. Welcome them. All right. All right, while you're standing, let's get ready to go. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now. Repeat after me. We're an African people, robbed of our homeland, robbed of our names, our language, our families, our self-respect. But we shall rise, never to fall again. Up, you mighty race. We can accomplish what we will. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. Shake hands with the one you next to. Shake my hand before you go.
Thank you for joining us for Weekdays Live with Reverend Al Sharpton. Take the time to share this broadcast right now. Tell your friends it's time to keep it real with Reverend Al. Comment your questions now in the chat or call Reverend Al Sharpton directly on air at 877-532-5797. Now stay tuned for Reverend Al.
This is Reverend Al Sharpton. As you watch the broadcast, support National Action Network. Go to www.nationalactionnetwork.net and be involved. You can join, take your membership right online, www.nationalactionnetwork.net. Getting ready to start the program, but we need you to be part of the movement.